Hi guys, today we're joined by Hein from Art of Sound and we're just going to have a casual chat with him. So we're really excited about what he has to say. So Hein, you've worked in the industry for many years. Can you maybe tell us a little bit more about when your company was established? And just in general, how long you were in the industry?
Well, my background in music goes back many, many years. In fact, for a number of years I was the national sales manager for a large company, and as such I arranged a lot of promotions countrywide as well as throughout Namibia. And I used to tour with artists, providing that, not out of necessity. I handled the sound for them.
Oh wow.
So I know a lot of the big artists today were small artists those days, but
Yes.
good luck to all of them. And then in 1998 somebody asked me to do a wedding for them. And I thought, well, let me go and have a look and see what the wedding industry is all about. And at that stage in time, that people told me there was like 3,000 weddings a year happening in Cape Town.
Oh wow. I wonder if that's still the case.
Around 50,000 a year now.
Flap.
In the Greater Cape Peninsula, Western
wow.
Cape area. So I did it, and then I discovered that it's actually providing good quality sound at a wedding is very important, because you only get one shot at it.
Yes,
if you're
of
going
course.
to get married, and the quality of the sound is so that your guests can't hear what's being said, the music is too loud or too soft, it all plays a role. So I decided to specialize in doing weddings to try and help brides out in that. So in 2001, September the 11th, 2001, I took a decision and I said, okay, I'm going to leave the corporate world and I'm going to concentrate on doing weddings.
Oh wow, okay.
So since then I've been doing weddings exclusively, with the exception of one or two schools that I did some fundraisers for, obviously at a no charge basis. So yeah, that's where I come from.
Great. And have you seen any changes in the wedding industry since you started from now?
Many changes.
Many changes
Many
to tell us
changes.
about.
In the beginning, the wedding industry, you got to know a few photographers. Being a photographer myself, I always chatted with photographers, and those days you would meet around between 5 and 10 photographers at virtually every wedding. And that's the way it was. And every now and then you'd find a videographer, which to me was a new thing. And then as the time went on and the wedding industry grew, because the Western Cape became so popular, there are like 10 venues, now there are like 200 venues.
Yeah, if that.
There used to be 20 photographers, there are now 2,000 photographers, which could be a problem because there's a lot of people entering the industry because of the idea of making quick money.
Yeah, that's always the thing, isn't it? And I'm sure you've seen a few interesting things at weddings. So what is your favorite wedding story?
My favorite wedding story is the wedding I did with a chap from Denmark married a Chinese girl.
Okay.
They both worked for the
Sounds
same company.
interesting.
They worked for the same company. He worked in Denmark, she worked in Hong Kong. And they met in Cape Town.
Oh wow.
Working for the same company. Then they got married. The wedding was interesting because you had two cultures. You had the Danish
that
culture,
must be really interesting.
Chinese culture, and the groom's mother wrote a saga, which is a song
Yes.
about how they met, and they actually sang this in Danish, Chinese, and in English.
Wow.
That was quite fun. To the tune of "She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain When She Comes." Anyway, the groom came to me at about 1 o'clock, and I said, "Well, aren't these people going to go home?" He said, "No, Danish people don't go home while there's alcohol left,
Oh wow.
and Chinese people will only leave when there's no more food." So they were bringing out food every hour. Anyway, I got away there 6 o'clock the next morning,
Yo, that's a long day.
and all these Danish guys walk around with bottles of spirits and say, "Skull." I said, no, I'm working. No, you must. No, I'm working.
Yeah, they don't take no for an
No,
answer.
you must drink it. So you drink it. So I drove home from, I won't name the venue. The Sunday morning, got home at about 7 o'clock. Well, it was an interesting wedding.
Yeah, I'm sure you have plenty more other interesting stories to tell. And then regarding the wedding themselves, do you feel like it's necessary for clients to meet the DJ prior?
Oh, it's absolutely essential. First of all, you're going to deal as a bride now. You're going to deal with somebody who's going to provide a service to you, and if you can't meet this person and get this surety in yourself that you have the confidence in this person, then that's going to be a major issue. From my point of view, I like to meet the bride, because if I don't like the bride and she gives the impression of bridezilla, then I would be quite prepared to step back and say, "I'm sorry, I've got something else going." No, it's very, very important. You've got to have the communication to decide whether you actually can get along with one another.
And what would you consider is the red flags for couples when they actually get to the point where they meet the DJ? What is the red flags that they can look out for? Or any interesting questions that you maybe have to
well, first of all, the bride has got to be very careful when meeting this guy, because some people, especially younger, unfortunately I've got to say this, younger people today tend to have too high an opinion of themselves, and they tend to over-present themselves. And if you can't read people properly, you're going to over-present yourself to somebody that's going to say, "Whoa, this guy is going to be too much." So it's very, very important to make sure that this person that you're dealing with is somebody that is going to be able to give you the job done.
And is there any questions that you recommend asking, or if there's any like specific gear that you need that is beneficial, or any questions that they can ask just to sort of gauge whether this person is the right person for them?
You see, to ask somebody that's going to provide a service for you, what equipment do you use? It's like going for surgery and asking the surgeon what make of scalpels do you use.
Of course.
If the guy is professional and he's used to providing services at weddings, he will have the necessary equipment. You just need to make sure that he understands exactly what you expect from him. Sound for the ceremony, a microphone for the minister, an unobtrusive microphone, not a huge big thing that's going to block the face. Is he going to be able to play music, background music during the pre-drinks? Is he going to be able to supply good quality sound? That's basically it. You don't need to be too specific there.
Okay. And for how long is the DJ normally booked at a wedding? Like, from what point at a wedding would you say is necessary? Like prior to the ceremony while guests arrive, or is there a certain formula?
Well, first of all, I've been to weddings where the DJ was carrying in his equipment while the people were milling around having drinks. So if the wedding is, let's say, at 4 o'clock, you need to be there, set up at least 2 hours before the time.
And do your sound
set up, do your sound checks, and then sit back and relax and gear yourself up for what's going to come, and to make sure that all your equipment is functioning properly and that you've got everything backed up.
Okay.
And then if the wedding is going to end at midnight, you must be prepared to finish at midnight and then start packing up. If you're lucky, get away at 12:30, 1 o'clock. This is what you do.
Okay, awesome. And then in conclusion, do you have any other interesting wedding stories to tell us? Because I'm sure you've seen so many things in your career.
Well, only the one that the couple, a very nice young couple, they lived in England, and they came out to get married here, and then during the interview, they told me that when they left here to go to England, the bride said to the groom, "I'm not going to live with you unless we're married." So they actually got married, but they never told their parents.
Oh, wow.
So they went to the UK. So 2 years later, they came out here to get married, and at the wedding, the groom's mother found out that they had been married for 2 years and nobody knew.
No.
So she got into a car and she left.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that spoiled the wedding somewhat. But you majority of weddings are just fantastic. You meet so many people, so many wonderful people. You get their stories from all over the world. You get these love stories, and it's fantastic.
Thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks very much for the honor. I appreciate it.
Cool.